Welcome back to another video. So today I'm going to be discussing Nvidia, the chip, specifically GPU giant, which happens to be my favorite stock. I make no secret about that. I think this is the generational company of our time. And I think it's a stock that everybody should own and be invested in at some point or hold long term. So let's get into it. So right now we're looking at a 1 year chart on Nvidia. So last week we closed at 124.58. If you notice, Nvidia took a nice little drop from its high of 140 and consolidated all the way down by 36%, hitting a low of 90.69. So this is good. This is a healthy pullback. If you notice, the stock ran up tremendously. Anytime you see a stock run up like that, if you want it to continue to run up like that, you do need to see a healthy consolidation. So that was great. It went all the way back up to 124.65. Now, if you notice down here, NVIDIA's earnings are coming up on Wednesday, August the 28th. This is an important date. If we want to see NVIDIA take out all-time highs, in my opinion, NVIDIA needs to stay within that 125 to about 116 level. This is the range. As long as we can stay within this range and this earnings comes out tremendous or at least good, with forward guidance being good as well, I do believe the 140 could be tested and taken out. Now, one thing to keep in mind, you do want to keep things in perspective. Yes, people want to see Nvidia fly up and go to $200, 160, 155, but you need to understand the size of the company and how the stock market works. Currently, Nvidia is an over $3 trillion market cap company. If Nvidia was to get to, let's say, $160, that would take its market cap to 3.9 trillion, making it the biggest stock in the US stock market. Not only the biggest company in the US stock market, but the world, surpassing Microsoft and Apple. So when you have these expectations of where the stock will go, you have to think not only about the price, but the actual market cap as well. Now, in my opinion, something more realistic is testing the all-time high at 140, which will bring it to 3.44 trillion market cap, which will be behind Apple. That's where I think it will go. Could it continue higher? Yes, but I think, in all honesty, Microsoft and Apple would have to continue as well to high 3 trillions, low 4 trillion market caps as well, because I don't think Nvidia alone will just shoot and leave Microsoft and Apple behind. Now, with that said, if the earnings, let's say, comes out subpar, not as good, we could see Nvidia reject off this 125 line, and I do think it could retest that 90 level. I also think the 108 level is a level to watch. Also, that 101 area is a level to watch. These are all different areas you could be picking up Nvidia stock on if it does reject off this earnings or something happens in the market. When you're thinking about Nvidia, you want to think about at a big perspective. This is a stock that goes on massive runs, but it always does correct itself by 20 to 30%. So when you're buying, keep that in mind and you'll reap the benefits. Now, if you're not aware, what makes Nvidia one of the generational companies of this decade is that it provides something that so many companies need. For example, Tesla, Microsoft, Google, Mercedes, Amazon, Nintendo, Adobe. You have pretty much any laptop outside of a MacBook, Nvidia's chip is in it. GPUs are graphic processing units. These chips are used to essentially run data centers, AI. When you see autonomous vehicles, it's essentially the eyes to the vehicle. It processes information at a rapid speed, angles, corners, degrees, which basically allows everything to interact and operate. When you see those Tesla bots picking up things, moving things, you see those automated vacuums going around corners, going around couches, its graphic unit within the system is picking up those objects and moving just as your eyes and brain communicate to each other to know when to turn, when to duck, when to bend, when to lift. That's what it is. So NVIDIA is separating itself apart from its competitors. Yes, there's other companies providing GPUs, but NVIDIA is by far top of the line, and that's why you see the stock reflecting and the price moving at such a pace. Going forward, AI, to me, this is like the gold rush. If you were looking for gold back in the days, you needed a shovel. To me, Nvidia is the shovel of this generation. Its chip is everywhere. You cannot do anything AI technology based at mass scale without Nvidia's chip. But what price you get it at is the most important thing, because as you're about to see, the stock is very volatile. So let's start off by clearing these drawings before we take a look at Nvidia on a larger perspective. So right now we're looking at the 5-year chart. You can see Nvidia is up 2,683% over 5 years. When I'm speaking about what price you buy Nvidia at, it's very important, and I'll show you why. This is Nvidia's chart all time. You see it's consistently going up, but when you take a deeper look at it, there's something very telling. Nvidia hit a peak here in 2000 and then dropped 90%. It hit a peak here in 2007 and dropped 86%. It hit a peak here in 2018 and dropped 57%. In 2020, it had a small drop. It wasn't as big as you may expect, 47%. And then it dropped 70% in 2022. So what you can see, 70, 47, 57, 86, 90, these are massive drops in Nvidia stock. So when you're buying this company, you need to first know that this is possible. If you see your portfolio up X amount of percentage, at any time, know it could be cut in half to even 70%. Do I believe the 90 to 80% drops will happen? No, this was at Nvidia's infant stage, so I don't believe you'll see these type of drops unless mass catastrophe, and I'm talking Great Depression level stuff. But 57, 47, 70, very much still possible to happen at any time. After this 90% drop, what happened next? It shot up 1,600%. After this drop at the bottom of 2008, went on a massive run, went up over 5,500%. After this drop in 2018, it went all the way up over 1,000%. After this 70% drop, the stock is up over 1,200%. So this is what you want to do. When you see these massive drops down here, as I always say, you want to be using these opportunities to build a base. Take advantage of the dips in the market and help change you and your family's life. When you have money invested in companies like this, these generational runs that they go on give you the right to say no or own your 24, as I like to say. It gives you the ability to do what you want. Some of those choices and decisions that you've had to make in the past because you needed to pay a bill, because you needed the money, you'll no longer have to do if you invest your money properly. One thing, lastly, I want to advise you of is that with these drops, keep in mind how much money you're allocating to Nvidia. If you have the stomach to put a lot of money into this, be my guest. Nvidia is one of my biggest holdings. I believe in it. A lot of people may not be able to stomach 86%, 57, 47, 70%. I do believe Nvidia is a stock you should have exposure to. Use your better judgment and know how much you want to put into this stock based on where you're at currently, your age, and what you feel comfortable with. Thank you for watching another video. Like, comment, subscribe, and let me know below what stock you want me to review next.